Okay, in this video we're going to be talking a little bit about how the e-delivery process works within eFileMagic. First, the e-delivery process is the act of us distributing the form information that you supply us with within the eFileMagic system to your recipients electronically. So a couple of things to note there. We're not going to attempt to e-deliver a form to a recipient if you don't supply us with the email address, or if the email address is incorrect. Your recipient's obviously not going to receive any information or correspondence from us that pertains to their form. So once you've gone ahead and entered your forms within the eFileMagic system and you've navigated to 5 release and submitted your order, we'll begin the e-delivery process shortly thereafter. One thing to note, the e-delivery process is not an immediate process. We batch sometimes as many as hundreds of thousands of emails at a time, and so it can take a little bit of time for us to initiate the e-delivery process. Once we have concluded the e-delivery process and submitted your information for distribution electronically to the recipients, you're going to receive an email that looks a little bit like this. It's just going to note that the e-delivery process is complete for your order, so on and so forth, and your recipient should expect to start receiving emails from us in their email boxes. When a recipient receives an email from us, it's going to look something a little like this. It's going to note that we have issued important tax documents on behalf of whatever the filer name is, in this case Big Truck Incorporated. It's going to note that we've issued a particular type of form to the recipients. We are going to supply the recipients with information on how to contact you. In a minute, I'll show you where you can control what is displayed here in the form, and then it's going to provide your recipient with a button to click in order to retrieve their form. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate how that process works. So I'll go ahead and click on this button. The recipient's going to be presented with a screen here that indicates that Big Truck Incorporated has issued tax forms. The document ID and challenge key, which are two security features that are supplied with the email that we dispatch to the recipient, should be auto-filled, and so the recipient should only need to enter the last 4 digits of their tax ID. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here for our test recipient and select Get My Form. We're going to ask your recipient to give us permission and also you permission to issue the tax forms electronically. This is part of the due diligence process in ensuring that we had permission to issue the tax forms electronically. So the recipient would typically go ahead and select yes, and then the recipient is going to be presented with a copy of their form in PDF format, and they can download that for their records. This also works on a phone really well, which we'll demonstrate here. The presentation of the e-delivery form to the recipient on their mobile device will be very similar to how we present it on the desktop device. They'll be presented with essentially the same email as a desktop. Once they click on the blue form button, it will take them to the same Retrieve Your Forms page, which notes the filer at top. Once they scroll down, the document ID and challenge keys should be pre-filled for them, and upon entering the last 4 digits of their tax ID and selecting Get My Form, we'll obtain authorization to provide them with the form electronically, and then finally we'll produce a copy of the PDF form for them on their mobile device, which they can then take and print or email or store or do whatever they want from there. Okay, going back to the email that the recipient receives, I noted earlier in this video that Big Truck Incorporated and the contact information that was supplied within Big Truck Incorporated is generated from the system. If there's specific contact information you want supplied here, you can navigate to 2 filers down to the filer. We default to the filer information. However, if you want to alter it, you can select additional information and then click on the edit button, and where it says recipient contact name and recipient contact email, this is how you control the recipient contact name and recipient contact email, and the phone number always comes from the phone number that was entered within the filer record. One last thing to note, it's common that you may get a phone call or an email from a recipient saying, hey, I didn't receive a copy of the my tax form via email. That's fine. You can go up to 3 recipients and down to order status, and go ahead and select the email address. For instance, if the email address is incorrect, you can supply us with a different email address, no reply at eFileMagic.com, and then check this particular recipient and select resend e-delivery, and that will cue the form to go to an updated email address. If the email address did not need to be updated, then you can obviously leave it the way that it was. You'll still need to check the recipient and scroll down to resend e-delivery. Okay, that concludes the video on the e-delivery process within eFileMagic.